Hello. Having a much better morning today. Had a really long interview with my dietitian who was able to help me problem solve some of the issues that I was having last night, because my blood pressure was dropping really rapidly, like 70 over 40, because of all the fluid that was going through me and through my bowel. So he is obviously strongly advocating for the J tube to be put in sooner rather than later. And anyways, we're all just trying to get GI on board. So that is the quote today. Outside again. It is gorgeous. Mom's upstairs and is working from my room today so that we can make sure that she sees all of the team and gets them all on the same board. Because I sometimes forget what I need to advocate for, especially after talking to so many people in a row. I get really tired. I'm just like, oh my god, there's too much stimulation and my brain is overwhelmed, and I forget that I'm still at a little bit of a lower weight, and being at a lower weight makes it sometimes a little bit hard to keep my train of thought going. I don't know if anybody else experiences that. Sorry, somebody just moved out of my favorite spot, so I'm gonna move over here, which is by the fountain. I always show you guys the fountain. Where I was yesterday. Before I went up to the garden, but I don't think I have time for the garden today. They want to do some blood work just because of how much fluid loss I had yesterday. They want to make sure that my magnesium is up to snuff, and if it isn't, it means I'm going to be stuck on an IV today, but that's okay. I don't really have anywhere to go. I went on a lot of passes this weekend, and I managed to get out of any increases because they want to see if they can get all of the fluid dynamics under control to find out what a dry versus wet weight is. They use it a lot in renal patients, those terms, people that undergo dialysis and get a lot of edema. Obviously people with eating disorders, when you're being refed, you're also being rehydrated. So your dry weight is the weight at which your body is at a natural level of fluid. So I think we're 70% water. So right now I'm probably hyperhydrated, overhydrated. So the weight that I put on over the weekend, which was a pound a day, clearly is not all weight. Some of it is weight, but the dietitian was saying probably very little of it is weight because of the amount of extra calories it actually takes to put on a pound of flesh. Even though my BMR might be lower than other people, just because of the fact that I have put my body through so much, it takes still a lot of calories to put on a pound. So for everybody that has questions about and I was one of them that used to post all the time oh my god, I'm not losing weight, I'm not gaining weight, my metabolism must be fucked. It's not so much that, a lot of it is fluids. And if you even look and see I have all these fluids going in and out, that's the feed, that's the flush, that's the IV that when I have my meds added, you know what I mean? So that's all going through me, plus the fluids that I drink, which I drink a lot, plus the fluids that go through the tube each time I flush it. It's a lot of fluids, and then my sodium's low, so they have me taking extra sodium. Most people are supposed to take in anywhere from 15 to 2,000. I'm taking over 5,000 milligrams of sodium per day. So my body is holding on to all of that as well. So I'm reminding myself in those moments when the Anna bitch likes to tell me that I am putting on too much weight and this is a stupid thing, and anyways, yada in my head. I remind myself, Pax, use your scientific mind. What would your scientific brain tell you right now about what is really going on? And that's how I'm able to calm my system down. And tell myself that it's okay, it's just fluid, and you do need to put on the weight so that you can get the surgery, so that you can go home. And so yeah, that's the difference this time around, is I have a lot more insight, and I think a lot of it does have to do with being better nourished. All my electrolytes are for the most part stable. My vitamins are stable. I'm taking in a balanced diet with the tube feed. When I was at home, I was undergoing starvation-induced delirium, and the eating disorder was getting so out of control. Yeah, it was really hard to rhyme or reason with myself, and she just completely took over. And I like how I am a person that can, like, identify, like, who my wise mind is versus, like, the bitch mind. Because for the longest time I couldn't. I was just like, no, I'm anorexia. Like, I am anorexic. That is all I am. And don't you fucking try to take it away from me. Sorry if there's any children watching. But it's the truth. Like, it was very much an identity thing for me. And then when I started to gain more insight into it and had been to a lot of different treatment programs and was also, like, working through my trauma, I was able to gain a lot more insight into why I was thinking the way that I was and what was happening to my body and that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I hope you find that helpful, like me talking through my thought process and why this has been a much more successful admission for me, because past me would have just, like, ripped the tube out and walked the fuck out of here because I just get so frustrated with, like, the weight gain and loss and all the changes and fighting with the dietitian, and that's not what I am about anymore. I am very much about, like, I want a quality of life that allows me to live a good quality of life at a weight that I feel comfortable at, which is lower, and I need my team to accept that, and they are. And we are all working really hard together to make sure that I have the best quality of life at the weight where I feel safe presently within my current situation medically and with my PTSD, and, you know, and that can change, right? And there's always the freedom to change that. So, yeah, we're actually going to be putting this forward, Sage and I, and I'll let know. We have, like, our team is going to put it forward to a harm reduction conference next year that mostly we will be the first eating disorder presenters of the harm reduction model at this conference in Australia. And we're really hoping that our abstract gets accepted. So we're going to be working on that this week because the deadline's coming up. And so I'm thinking, and please feel free to give me feedback, whether it's, like, through the ED support forum or through this forum, of what would be an interesting presentation, because I'm thinking it would be fun to present a case study and then also present, like, the interview that would happen if you were coming in as a person that required a team approach to your treatment, but you wanted, like, for me at least, it would be going in, interviewing with, like, dietitian, doctor, therapist, whatever, like, comprising of my team, me defining what recovery is for me and what harm reduction skills I'm using, because I would want to use a harm reduction model like I am right now to stay as healthy as I can at the weight at which I feel the most comfortable at a BMI for me, which is around, and I'm going to mention numbers now, so if those aren't comfortable for you, don't, but around 14. So I'm comfortable at a BMI of about 14. It used to be 13. I bumped it up to 14 because I was not functioning well at 13. So that's, like, change on my part. They would like 15. I'm not so happy with 15, so we compromised 14. And that's where I tend to stay around. So, yeah, let me know if you think, like, acting would be fun, because that's what I thought. I thought it'd be fun to, like, play act one of our cases. Each of us struggles with an eating disorder. I'm very open with mine. So I presented myself forward as a case study. I know Sage is more comfortable with me presenting. Don't know how that feels, but yeah, I'm totally happy to be the model for that. So we are putting forth our abstract by the end of this month, and then I get to see whether we get to go to Australia next year or not, which would be pretty fucking cool. And I'll get to bring my tube with me. Oh yeah, I gotta name my tube too. So let's name my tube together. Name that tube once I finally get it. Not this one, but the one in my tummy. So anyways, I left my mom upstairs for long enough, so I should probably go. But I just thought I would post a video today because I'm feeling like it. I'm feeling so much better than last night. Yeah, I love you all. You're amazing angels. So glad I have you on my recovery journey. Have a wonderful day.